And we're good. Yay. Things are thinging. The Twitch is twitching. The YouTube is getting there. I can tell it is starting. Our phone magic has phone magicked. Ha! There you go. YouTube. Okay, there we go. Yay. I am very tired. I'll live. I can't spell. Jesus Christ, I cannot spell. There we go. Bam. Yeah. Also, let me send that one too. There we go. That makes sense. Alrighty. Why am I so high up? There we go. Hurricane! It is very cold in my room. And my head is very headache. Get lost again. Yeah, Victory Road. Honestly, I don't think the Kanto one is that. I don't think any of them are that bad, honestly. It's only really bad if you're like trying to grab everything. I'm surprised I haven't played a Sonic game on stream yet, but I don't know which one I would play. 75 Wigglytuff. That is a thick boy. Do 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 do. Okay, I can turn that off. Let's scoot that over there. They still can't get past. Yeah, this is where like team diversity really starts to shine. You really, by this point, just need to know a lot about how your team operates and the things that your opponents can do and just properly doing against it. It could be worse. I'm trying to think, do I still have that? Hold on, let me check on my phone actually. I think I still might have that save I did of the last time I played through a Gen 1 game. Do 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 do. Make it to level 100 Wigglytuff. Can I get past? I mean, yes, but the problem is not that Wigglytuff isn't highly leveled. The problem is the rest of your team needs to be able to do what they need to do, right? That's the real problem. The problem is not necessarily that the Wigglytuff might not be strong enough. The problem is everything else might not be strong enough. Because you can't put it all on Wigglytuff, basically. And it's also, like, kind of loops around to what I was talking about earlier, where, like, Wigglytuff is, oh, there it is. Yeah. Like, Wigglytuff is fine, but there's better normal types. And you're starting to feel it. Like, it's definitely possible. You just need to use Wigglytuff as, like, your sponge for your other guys as you're figuring stuff out. Yay. I like the song. Also, wait, hold on. I might be, need to adjust my camera if I'm all the way down here. There we go. Yeah! I know who I am. Yeah, so the last time I played through Gen 1, all my Pokemon except Dragonite were around level 60. Now granted, this was a ROM hack that gave like new moves and stuff, but even then, I tried to do what I usually do. With a Fire, Water, Grass, and a Dragon, Fairy, Steel core. To be nice and balanced. If the words kill me, I don't need a new world order. You soon will know. We already know the smell of the game. But yeah. See, Pokemon's fun though, because like the thing I do the most when I play through Pokemon, I like doing monotype runs. I think generally speaking, that's my favorite way to play through Pokemon. So I have to put up with the frustration of only having one type when I go through the game, which I'm usually fine with. Alright. Boop. But yeah. That is bullshit blazing, still my heart is blazing. And you know what? My heart is blazing, because today is the day the music gets to stay. We're talking about Master Duel Replays, yay. Remember, you are blazing. Hi, Pegasus! Behold! Ah! Yu-Gi-Oh! Jump scare! It was up the entire time. God, it's cold. Well, as normal, before we look at my own replays or viewer replays if they pop in, we must look at Duel Live. So let's look at some Duel Live. Can you submit a replay? Yes, absolutely. Put in your player ID in the chat, and we'll look at a couple of replays if you want. Alrighty, we have Ryziel, I'm forgetting his name. There's Medius, but like, do they not have a fucking, Ryziel Medius, I suppose. We have Incantation going on so far in the opponent's team. I'm curious of what the hell they're playing. Megalith, alrighty. They get drolled. That kind of sucks. Yeah, that kills them immediately. Alright. They're gonna Theorealize, send away the Twink. We're gonna summon Ice Ryziel, which gets Eraton. Yes. Alright, there's Ophiel. There's Sword Ryziel. Ophiel is now going to grab another Megalith. They have no more hand traps in their hand, so they will be able to do something during this because the Megaliths can quick ritual summon themselves in order to do things. Which is pretty neat. There's Detonator. Can't you see I'm blazing? Alright. The first duel with Kaonse, you got it. Infernal Flame Banshee, what the hell are we grabbing with that? Just Star Ryziel? Alright. There's our trap. We're gonna send away Medius to summon Medius. Our Twink is magical. There's Power Patron Doom Z. Okay, see, that explains the variant. There's Diactorus. Pop, pop. Goodbye, Ophiel. And that's lethal on board. Or is it? I don't know if they're still proccing, actually. They might still be proccing, because they might still have enough to be able to ritual summon in their hand. Come to think of it. I'm not too familiar with Doom Z, actually. All I know is, like, the Twink is in evil armor, and that's it. That's all I know. I don't know much else about it. Tornado. Do you really need the tornado, though? You had lethal forever ago, but, you know. Yeah. Who am I to question your posturizing? Oh, well. Alright, let's check out Pegasus's duel here. So we're going to go up here, press the button. And your ID 065... 110 350. Boop. You are in silver, up against Kaonse. Alrighty, and as usual, I will not check out what we have. Alright, there's a lot of tunes going on there. Well, you are Pegasus, so I guess you were excited for the new tune support. Alrighty, we're going to Tune Table of Contents for Tune Bookmark. We're going to bookmark to get our kingdom. Blackstone of Legend in order to get Tune Red Eyes. That's neat. We banished 3. Out comes Tune Dark Magician, and we end. What are the Berry Magician Girls for? Oh, to add Tune Dark Magician Girl. Okay. Let's see, there goes Medius, another Doom Z, another Doom Z. You know, hold on, really quick. I'm just going to go look up exactly what Doom Z's whole thing is. Because I see Xyz and equips, and I'm confused. Do-do-do-do-do. Let's see. Bam. There we go. Let's see, revolving around self-destruction, equip cards, and floodgate effects via their cards. Okay. See, I'm kind of funky. I don't like Xyz decks, so anytime a deck focuses on Xyz, I usually just ignore it, and I don't know what it does. Alright, and Toon Kingdom saves us, because of course it does. There goes 7. 7 sets the destruction. We're going to use Drastia, blow up 7. There goes the green one. We're going to 1 card Xyz into Drastrius, or not even, oh yeah. 1 card Xyz, technically. You just gave him the equipment. We're going to equip Toon Dark Magician. We have more green. We're going to use more green. We're going to use a lot of green. And we're going to Xyz because, yeah, when a equip monster leaves, the stuff just leaves. Going to bring out Medius. Meanwhile, Big Green over there is going to bring back all these equips. We're going to use Bookmark to protect our kingdom. It's still on the board here. Now we're going to punch. Our kingdom protects us. We banish another. We're going into SP. Yep, going into SP. Yeah, so in case y'all are wondering what the fuck is going on here, Toon Kingdom does a lot for Toons. Banishing cards from the top of the deck face down, which, you know, is just the cost. It becomes Toon World while on the field, which a lot of the Toons need in order to function. But more importantly, it gives all your Toon monsters targeting protection. So SP wasn't actually able to banish anything. See, if there's one advantage to playing rogue decks, it's people don't fucking read your cards. They really should. And of course, as you've seen multiple times, if it gives your Toons destruction protection by banishing stuff. Burn damage, oh boy. Alright, we're going to punch SP. We're going to summon Berry Magician in order to grab Toon Dark Magician Girl. Yeah, I figured out what that was for earlier. There goes Toon Dark Magician Girl, and we're just going to wait. We're going to Armory Call. Are we going to grab the glove? Not the glove. Dragon Nails. I don't think I've seen that card before. Equip only to a dark monster. It gains 600 attack. Cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. If it's sent to the grave because the equipped monster was destroyed by battle and sent to the grave, you can special summon that monster and re-equip it. Yeah, and we're just going to spam destructions because reading is hard. Yeah, you see what I just did there? You see how I saw a card that I've never seen before and I literally read it in order to know what it does? People really need to start doing that. It took me 2 seconds. It took me 2 seconds to read that fucking card. God, people are silly. Also, hold on, my head is still exploding. Migraines suck! Don't get migraines! Alrighty, so there's Rainbow Twink. Alright, and the kingdom still protects us. The kingdom still protects us. Are you playing a 40? Yeah, standard deck size. Necroface! Oh boy. Yeah, and then of course, because Toons are Toons, they can just attack your opponent directly if your opponent doesn't have Toons. And because of all the burn damage he was suffering because of his green equip spell, it made it really easy to just kill him on this turn. That was a good duel. Yeah. Dude, people are, as we will come to see in a moment, people are really bad at reading cards, especially for rogue decks. Thank you for showing it. Thank you for popping up. Yeah, people are very bad at reading rogue deck cards. I don't know why. It's really hard for some people. Reading is hard, but you need to do it. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! I know the joke is that we don't read, but honestly, like, it takes no time at all to read. Alrighty, as usual, I will go into my 5 replays here, and if anyone else pops up with a replay that they want to show in, absolutely just put in your thingy and we'll go over it. But let's go from bottom to top, as is normal. We have a ranked duel. This is me using, oh yeah, this is the fucking, the semi-mirror match. This was me using, Dragon Maid Draco Tail up against, Branded Dragon Maid. Alright, I'm going first. I open Parlor, Perulia, Hospitality, Ketu, and Rahu. I think... what do I want to do here? I already have a normal summon with Parlor. I have Hospitality in order to send Lorpar later. I probably want to use Ketu first in order to bait negations and hand traps, and then use Rahu to try and summon something. Perulia first. Well, you know what? That makes sense, me. Fuelos first. You know what? That makes sense to them. Bam. Bam. No, I went Rahu first. Another Fuelos. I ain't scared of no roach. Or no jellyfish. He bet. Alright, we'll send away Parlor and Urgula. We'll go into our Thalion that way. They're gonna get 2 from that. We're gonna return Parlor. We're gonna get Valored, but that's fine. We have Hospitality in hand, so we can still go into Lady's Dragon Maid. Sound like a frog. Yeah, I don't know what makes me do that voice whenever I say that. I don't remember. Alright, we grab Lucius. We grab Phimena. We Hospitality. Out comes Parlor. We send Lorpar. We go into Lady. They're gonna summon Magma Hut in order to get a dude. Yay, pre-sequel song. Alright, we got changeover from that though. We'll send Sermba. We have Lady. They're going to Baldrake to get rid of Sermba. Meanies. We have Malulu in hand. That's very nice. We're going to normal chamber. We're going to change over in order to go into Big Lady. We'll turn into my wife. Lovely, lovely Shio. Well, Shio immediately in order to stop Red. I always forget his name. I always remember them by color and not name. Baldrake is... Baldrake, that's what it is. Yeah. That one's red, this one's purple because of the background. Or alternatively, this one's black and this one's red. It makes sense. The other ones are blue and purple. Alright. Then they got Chamber from the search, and Fuelos is making them return 1 card. Not gonna lie, like Fuelos... The Perulias could probably, like, make you return just a few more cards. Branded Fusion! Well, we're going to try to flame the Branded Fusion, but did you know that Ghost Bell works on Dragotail Flame because it returns something from the grave? Literally, no one's ever done that to me before this duel, so I didn't know it worked like that. React to your other duels? Yeah, sure. Alright, so now that I know that they're using a bunch of dragons, naturally my brain goes, oh, go into Secretarian. Let's do that. So out comes Albion. Are you watching a duel? Yes, we are. We are doing all replays today. We're going to use Lucius to grab Horn. We're going to use Malulu to put Sting down. And we will negate the Albion, even though it's not really going to be helping, even though it's already negated. And then I see Dark End Evaporation, which I also like using. I quite like that card, just not in this version of the deck. They'll go into Chaos. They'll make their Lady and they'll end, because none of their guys have enough attack in order to actually beat me yet. Which is helpful. We get Ghost Belled again. Poor Urgula is getting put through the ringer right now. We're going to banish the Dragon Twink, and we're going to get rid of the other Dragon Twink that they have in there. Unfortunately, Sting is going to get ashed. But that's fine. We'll use Horn and we'll return Dark End Evaporation. But we won't, because they're going to use Imperm on Secretarian, which now will allow their dragons to use effects. As well as negating the Horn that's in that column. God, I love Yu-Gi-Oh! That's fine. We use Magma Hut for a search, and we'll just do some punching. I'm not going to punch the Albion, because if I send it to the grave, it will then proc its effect to then start, like, doing stuff, which I do not want. I do not want that. He needs to be on the field until later. Alrighty, he's going to swing with Lady and use Tin Hex in-hand effect in order to give it 2,000 attack. A very infrequently used effect, but damn it helped here. Ow! And of course, because Albion was in the grave, during the end phase, they grab Branded Fusion with that. We draw Parlor. They're going to use Lubellion and Lady's Dragon Maid in order to make Shio. My wife is back. But she's on the enemy team. Damn. So naturally... Oh, there he goes. Urgula has been getting negated the whole game. Urgula has been just sad. Poor Urgula is just waiting like, can I do it now? Can I do it now, Dad? Dad, let me do it. I want to do it, Dad. Poor Urgula has been getting bullied this entire game. We're going to normal Parlor in order to send Chamber. We're going to return in order to activate House's destruction effect, and we're going to use Changeover to bring out Shio again. Naturally, because things were sent to the grave, Arthalion gets to come back. And now we get to special summon something, so let's just bring out Chamber. They're going to Parlor to send Lorpar. They're going to send Lorpar and Parlor to bring out Lady again. Lady is going to bring out Kitchen. Woo! And they're going to change over. Out comes their own Shio once more. They're just swinging directly into Arthalion. That's fine. They're going to special summon out Lady. Unfortunately, because they have a better position here, because they were able to get out Lady, they're now going to bring out Parlor, and Parlor is going to send over the trap card, and they're going to use Lady's fusion effect in order to bring out Philia Regis. Yeah, this is tricky. They're going to Tiding in order to bring out Kitchen, and now Kitchen's going to add and send one more thing. They're going to send out Sermba to give them destruction protection. Can Urgula work now? So the bad news is Shio gets banished. The good news is at least Urgula is back. We're going to activate Ketu, which forces them to use Shio. We have Lucius on board, giving us 5 meta. We're going to change over. We're going to return Chamber to our hand. We're going to use Changeover using the 5 meta and the Chamber in hand. And bring out Arthalion again. And because we use monsters in our hand, we'll just bounce back those dragons. Can you get Lugia in Leaf Green? I don't remember which one of those ones you get per game. They're going to bring out Tin Heck. We're going to swing. We're going to swing. And we're going to swing. And we're not done yet. We're taking Chamber and Arthalion and ending on our good old friend Spheres. They're going to normal summon Kitchen. And now's a good time as any to Spheres. We'll just send that back. The fun thing about Spheres in a deck like this is that you have several targets that make it pretty damn handy. Unfortunately, they decided to have Ash Blossom in hand now, so we won't get to see those. But there are a lot. And we draw Nibiru. Would have been handy during a lot of those previous turns, but what do you know? That's fine. We have plenty of Arthalions to throw around. My favorite decks to use. Anything to do with dragons or synchros. It's mostly those. If it involves dragons or synchros, I've probably used it before. You like Blue Eyes? Oh boy, do I! Let me show you my deck list after. Yeah. So that was a very, very, very fun Dragon Mirror match. Boop! Alrighty, so this is from, like... These are the most recent things I changed. Let's go down here. Here we have Dragon Link Centurion. I kind of want to make this again, actually, but I'm missing a few cards, and I have not put in the new Dragon Link cards, so I should. I've been wanting to work on Hero, because one of my friends plays Hero, and I want to, like, make a Hero deck, but no joke, every time I'm working on this deck, a new deck that I'm interested in comes out. This time it was Radiant Typhoon, so, yeah. Here we have Buster Blader Blue Eyes. I love this deck. Definitely one of my favorite versions. Here we have Classic Dragon Link. Again, I haven't used this one in a while, but I should with the new support that's come out. Here's Raid Raptor. This is pretty much the only Xyz deck that I still use. Yeah, I don't know why. I just don't like Xyz. I just don't. Every time I use them, I'm like, yeah, I don't like how this feels. Here we have my wives. Yeah, Dragon Maid, of course. We gotta do some editing. We'll just throw in another one of you, and... Boop. Boop. There we go. Yeah. Good old Dragon Maid. Yeah, it's this one's just pure Dragon Maid. You can pick my random duel. You got it. One worst day. So I have two stun decks. One worst day and one bad day. This one is focused around using Guilt Gripping Morganite in order to summon out the Vanities, the Fiends, in order to stun that way. And then we have a more traditional stun. Here we have White Forest. The game was bullying me when they were, like, new, and I didn't get many of them. But the good news is, like, since the new Dark Magician stuff came out, like, this isn't as expensive as it used to be. And now that they're all in secret packs, it should be pretty easy. Here we have what I was literally using that previous duel. This is a Dragon Maid Draco Tail. Very fun deck. Here we have Pure Dark Magician, but, like, I don't have any of the Shining Sarcophagus cards to, like, use this yet. I really want to, though. We'll get to it. Here we have Pure Rocket. This is not, like, Dragon Link. It's just explicitly the new Rocket stuff, which is pretty fun. I quite like that. Here we have Math Mech. Yeah, I like Cyburst decks, too. There's quite a couple of those. So here we have Math Mech. Here we have Centurion. Centurion and Centurion variants are definitely my favorite deck. Because I'm a big fan of just summoning big old, big number, big synchro monsters, and Centurion does exactly that. Here we have Skull Servants. Good old Skull Servants. I don't play that many decks that use that grass looks greener. Yeah, I'm generally speaking, I'm more of a mid-range player. So going second OTK and like hyper combo decks just aren't my thing. I prefer more resource oriented, win through like proper knowledge and like, you know, playing of your deck, which is why I preferred like general mid-range stuff. Good example here is, I don't know how to describe it, Horus Kashtira Primite, like. This deck basically just, like, is exactly what I was talking about. This deck wins through, like, proper negation of your opponent's, like, key cards, because this deck is very bad at establishing advantage. You don't have that many plays based on what's in your hand. You're essentially just trying to establish advantage with what little stuff you have. And it ends up working way more than it should. I play Toons, roommate plays Blue Eyes and Horus Ra. Coworker plays Red Dragon Archfiend, other one loves his Albaz. Yeah, we'll be getting into those guys in a moment. Here is Stardust Bestial. We will be making Mainlander proud with a couple of the replays later that we'll be seeing with this deck. Definitely one of my favorite Centurion variants. If you want to count it as a Centurion variant. It's more, like I said, it's called Stardust Bestial, which is a bit more synergistic than a lot of other things, which is quite fun. Here we have Branded Draco Tail, really quick. We'll just do Perulia in here, so I just add them in here. Been a while since I played this version, honestly. Boop, there we go. Here we have, I think this is pure Draco Tail. Yes, it is. This is pure Draco Tail. Oh, wait, he's already in there. Oh, in that case, Valor. We'll add Valor. Oh, yay. K9 versus Toons. I will look at that one after. Boop. Here we have Centurion Draco Tail. This deck is silly. This deck shouldn't work. It does. It shouldn't. Speaking of RDA, here's my RDA deck. Good old Red Dragon Archfiend. Again, if it involves dragons or synchros, I love it. Draco Tail works great with Dragon Maid. Yes, it does, because they're extremely synergistic. Both being Dragon Fusion decks. Pretty much, Draco Tail pretty much fits in with Dragon Fusion decks like a glove. To the point where if you want to play like a big old just pile deck of Dragon Fusions, you can. It's very neat. Here is, I think this is 60 card. No, this is pure Blue Eyes. Or Blue Eyes Primite, if you will. Use both engines to bring out 5-headed dragon. That's not good enough. We need stronger. Here is at Ignister. Again, I quite like Cyberse decks. I should make Malice again. Here is Blue Eyes Centurion. God, I love this one. My Typhoon Doom deck is called Tornado of Doom. I'm glad some people are looking at the at the names. Where are we at? Here is Horus Centurion. I think this is the Centurion version I end up using the least. Here we have Dragon Maid Blue Eyes. Where was I? I was there. Here we have Melodious. I like Melodious a lot. Melodious is very fun. Here is Synchrons. I still gotta get used to this. I'm not used to the... usually I practice a deck. Most of your Centurion decks have Slaying in it. Yes, because when I first made Centurion... Hold on, let me go find it now. When I first made Centurion, the song that was playing was this song from Twisted Metal Small Brawl called Now Slaying. So every time I make a Centurion deck, it is something slaying. Because this is my favorite Twisted Metal song. God, the bass line of this is so fun. Yeah, I'm not used to the combo lines yet with the new Synchron stuff, so I'm getting used to it. Normally, I like to practice until I feel like I can do it intuitively, so I'm not wasting as much time as possible. Here is Radiant Typhoon, but as you might be able to tell, the game has been bullying me with giving me the URs, and has not been giving them to me. After Leaf Green, should I do a Nuzlocke? Nuzlocks are not easy. Like, Nuzlocks are really not easy. You have to understand a lot about the game you're playing in order to Nuzlocke. Skill issue. Yeah, the game was being extremely mean. You really like your Leaf Green. He's been playing through Leaf Green on stream. For the first time, so yeah. But yeah, I can't wait till this is actually done, because, like, I really like Radiant Typhoon. This deck is exactly up my alley. A Nuzlocke for Yu-Gi-Oh! You know what's funny? For some of the games, you could absolutely do that. Like, do that in, like, Duelist of the Roses. What's next? Oh, here's Code Talker. Making Life Point Taker proud with this one. And, I think that was the last one I edited. Yeah, because all these other ones I just changed. Yeah. Enough about deck lists. Let's get on over to, Rare Candy's replay. Boop. I love Typhoon because I love MST. I just like I said, I'm a mid-range player at heart. I like mid-range stuff. Alright, Rare Candy, any of these, screaming at you? God, it's cold. I need support for Kashtira. No, you don't! I can't remember. It was 3 years ago. That's a long time! Yes, I do! Most is online. You pick one. Well, I need to banish cards faster. I'm curious about this 17-turn ranked duel, so let's see this. Ooh, yay. Bum, 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 bum. A lot of the GoldenEye songs have been popping up a lot on stream as of late. Good job, Truffle. Was Kashtira used to stop tier limits, or was it the other way around? Kashtira! Okay, so Kashtira is supposed to stop tier limits. The problem is, tier limit is, like, so ridiculous that they can turn 0, fill their graveyard anyway, with all their stuff at full power, that it really didn't matter. So, Kashtira... How Kashtira operates is, when they establish their boss monsters, Kashtira basically banishes things that get sent to the grave instead of sending them to the grave, which you think would be a perfect thing in order to stop tier limit. The problem is, tier limit has several ways to to mill on your turn. So even before the Kashtira cards can actually get to their boss monster, the tier limits can still put things in the grave in order to play anyway. If I can't make my opponent hate picking up this game, I'm not playing. Yeah, tier limit is ridiculous. Alrighty, Rare Candy opened up Regeki, Golden Droplet, 2 Dispellings, and a Drowning Mirror Force. Let's see what happens. We're gonna Dispelling for Huggin. We're going to pitch the other Dispelling. We're going to activate the Fountain. There goes the Fountain. We're going to Golden Droplet. What did we just mill with that? We sent away a Super Poly, a Runic Slumber, a One Day of Peace, and a Time-Tearing Morganite. Good lord. I have an FTK with Runic. Oh, Jesus Christ. We're going to return those. We're going to set those. We're going to Flashing Fire in order to bring out their own Hugin. Oh, really quick. Hold on. I'm curious about something. Something I'm always curious about is if the opponent's name is in a language I can't understand. I like putting it in Google Translate to see if... to see what their name means. I surrender to Ordinary Dex. That is a hysterical username. Didn't we already review this? Yes, we did, but you know... don't worry about it. You know, these people are new. They haven't seen this. But also, you said you haven't played in a while, so... And naturally, Hugin was destroyed. We're going to return this and probably add another field spell. We're going to activate Destruction to try and get rid of Runic Fountain. We're going to activate Dispelling. They're going to activate Freezing Curses. There goes 3. There goes 2 from them. God, they're playing Tip too. Or not Tip, Allure. Allure is the continuous one, right? Yeah, Runic Allure. My brain hurts watching this. Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! They're going to Card Destruction. We have Spell Absorption now, at least. And Duster. We're going to Spell Absorption, hope for the best. Yeah. They're going to Freezing Curse on Hugin. But they have nothing else. We have Flashing Fire. We're going to Duster, whatever the hell that is. Fucking Gozen match? Was that what that was? Yeah. The battle phase was skipped because of the Runic play. Up another one. Here's Threatening Roar. My cat whoever thought it was a good idea to make Runic, I'm showing them a boot to the face. See, I don't think Runic is that bad when they only have access to 1 field spell. Also, wait, don't you play Kashtira? Don't you like banishing shit? Nah, I was talking about that with friends the other day. Dude, some people... This isn't even like a slight at you, this is just a general thing, dude. Some people are just more tolerant of some evil than other types of evil. Like, no, my deck is totally evil, but like... My deck is evil, but it's less evil than this evil deck, I swear. It's all evil. You're all supervillains. I hate it when I can't play. Yeah, see, the problem here is this is a losing matchup because you have less cards than they do. You gotta banish a lot more than they need to banish in order to establish advantage, unfortunately. There's most decks in raid. The chance to play or not. Oh, yay! I've been been wanting to play Monster Sanctuary on stream, but I'm not sure how, because it has a bunch of different, like, modes that you can play it in. I've been thinking about doing the random mode. Trickstar Reincarnation. Oh boy. That's not great. Smite them! Yeah, we are losing cards here, friend. Yep. Oh boy. They just hit a flashing fire. Yep. Ripperoni. Third duel against Gato. You got it. Who wants lunch? Boop. Oh wait, why'd I do that? I am silly. Yeah, I gotta re-put in this fucking number. Do. Hey! There we go. Hi. This one against Gato. We have Toons versus what the fuck is going on there? Oh lord. Want to see one of your replays? Yeah, absolutely. Since we're doing replays today, just put in your ID in chat and we'll get to the replays. Alrighty, we open with Blackstone of Legend, Toon Dark Magician Girl, Kingdom, Vengeful Bog Spirit. Monsters cannot attack the turn they're summoned. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I wish TCG Live also had replay system in it. And we have Armory Call from last time. Alright, there we go. We activate Vod Spirit. Here goes Toon Kingdom. Here goes Blackstone of Legend. Out comes Toon Dragon. Out comes Dark Magician Girl. What did we banish? We banished Magician's Defense, Toon Mermaid, and another Bog Spirit. Could be worse. Here's a case for K9. We're going to activate Armory Call. And we will equip our Red Eyes. No, we're equipping Dark Magician Girl with the Dragon Nails this time. Alright. Alright, Jokel is jokeling. There goes Holly Sue. Ooh, yay, Muramasa song. Obligatory. Please, Vanillaware, put your games on PC. I want to play Muramasa and Dragon's Crown on PC in HD. Thank you. Okay. Alright, they immediately went for the Jacks, but the Jacks can't attack, so the Jacks is in fact suck. They're going to Jack into the big guy? Yeah, Werewolf. That's fine. Here's Toon Dark Magician. And now we're just going to hit them. Very, very hard. That's fine. We have some protection. That's fine. We still have some protection. The worst part about this is, I think, like, unless I'm uncertain, I'm pretty sure the number one thing that they want to do in order to stop what's going on with Toons is to just get rid of the fucking field spell. It solves half your problems. You still gotta deal with a lot of other stuff, but you need to get rid of the field spell first. Oh no, he's going full yiff! Are they gonna do it now? No, they're not. Bonk. Also, why was Gato playing K9? Those are dogs, not cats. That, in fact, is a deck full of dogs. Those are not cats. How silly. Alright, up next. Boop. Elagos. In Duelist Cup. It's always fun for Duelist Cup. Oh, we have a fucking Marincess enjoyer. I quite like Marincess. My friend likes Marincess too, the same one that likes Hero. Alright, let's check it out. Alright, we're going first. Ooh, Raid Raptor! This is gonna be fun. I like Raid Raptor. It's like the only Xyz deck I actually like using. Alright, we open Roost in hand. We use Tribute Lanius in order to send Mimicry. We will then activate Mimicry in order to grab Strangle Lanius. Strangle Lanius will now special summon himself because we control the Dark Monster. We're immediately going to go into Raider's Knight. There we go. We're going to activate and grab Glorious Bright now. We might as well. Raider's Knight will now activate, sending away Strangle in order to rank up into Wise Strix, I think it is. Brave Strix. Wrong Strix. Lots of Strixes. We're going to set Raid Raptor Nest because we already have Skip Force in hand, so we don't need to set Skip Force. Out comes Arsenal Falcon. We will now use Arsenal Falcon and grab something. We're going to grab another Strangle Lanius. We're going to bring out Tribute Lanius using that. We're going to use Raid Raptor Nest in order to grab Singing Lanius. We'll turn these two into Wise Strix. Wise Strix procs, adding another, or getting another Raid Raptor. Arsenal Falcon procs, bring out the big bird. No, we're going into Force Strix this time. Ooh. There's Rise Rank Up Magic. We're going to detach. Out comes Vanishing Lanius. We're going to take Raider's Wing and Tribute Lanius in order to make another Force Strix. Bam. Out comes Bloom Vulture, because, yeah, no, we did normal summon, but we still have special summons because of Bloom. Vanishing Lanius is going to bring out the Mimicry. Out comes Rusty Bardiche. We're going to send, which one is that? Silent Boots. Going to add Phantom Knight's rank up. Vanishing and Bloom now proc. Out comes Dark Rebellion Xyz. Going to use Singing and Mimicry. We're going to make Gaga Magician. Oh, he is a dark, isn't he? Huh? We'll just send all those back. Get an Ash Blossom out of that. It's pretty good. Alright, so we have 3 rank ups. And a lot of recursion. We're going to start with Phantom Knight's rank up. Then we're going to use this Phantom Knight's rank up. And then we're going to use Rise rank up. Out comes Rising Rebellion Falcon. Going from Dark Rebellion into Dark Requiem. And then Arsenal into Kali Yuga. And naturally, because Kali Yuga... Yep. Reading is hard. Hi friends, we're going to do some reading. This right here is DDD Duodon King Kali Yuga. It needs 2 level 8 DD monsters, or alternatively, you can use a rank up magic in order to make it. Its very first line of text says, after this card is Xyz summoned, for the rest of the turn, other cards and their effects cannot be activated on field, and other card effects on field are negated. It's the first line in the card. Come on. I understand if you've never seen Kali Yuga, you might not be familiar with what it does, but come on, it's literally the first sentence. Can't wait for the new Toon cards to come out. It gives the deck so much recursion. Yeah. Not to mention, it gives you an FTK! I can't wait to get Toon FTK'd! Oh, good lord, that's not going to be fun. Alrighty. Oh yeah, I remember this duel because it happened while I was on stream. This is me using Mikanko against, Kali Yuga's the babysitter. Yeah. This is Mikanko versus Raizio Mitsurugi. I don't have Mikanko anymore. I have since dismantled the deck to make use for other stuff. As I mentioned, I'm just not the biggest general fan of going second OTK stuff. As much as I do like Mikanko, I still get bored of that kind of playstyle very quickly. What did I open? Maxi, Fuelos, Super Poly, Red Reboot, and Sanaki. Could be worse. There goes Habakiri. Naturally, the world is their oyster because Mitsurugi has no locks and lets them do fucking anything. I hate Mitsurugi. Alright, they let us use both Maxi and Fuelos. We got Mayo, we got Double-Edged Sword. They're going to Ritual. They're sending away Night Serpent and that other one. I fucking forget all their names. His Futsu. I've waited so long for Toons to be a form of meta. I mean, like, the new stuff is good, but I wouldn't say it's that good. I think that's another thing a lot of people need to accept. Like, listen, Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot more than a lot of other card games still allows old cards to be used for various things. It's not the end of the world if your favorite deck isn't playable anymore. I don't know why, like, some people, I feel like because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a lot more supportive, people are a lot more, like, expectant of, like, stuff getting support than a lot of other card games. I don't know, me personally, I don't know, it just doesn't bother me if a deck I like isn't necessarily as strong as it used to be or could be. I don't care if my deck is meta, I care if I'm having fun with it. Bro tried to Regeki me, so I put him in the ground like a plant. Alright, they're gonna Ritual. Out goes Murakumo. We have Preparation of Rites. We have Noble Twins. I'm honestly surprised they're still letting me go. Mitsurugi typically isn't a deck that would play weakly into draw, but they're letting me draw a lot more than I was expecting them to. Yeah. So out comes Prayers. They're going to use both effects in order to both draw and then summon. They're going to attempt to stop the rock, but no. Here's Nibiru. There's a big token. Habakiri is still in hand. There's the Magatama. Murakumo is back on the board. They're going to Mirror now, using Habakiri in order to bring back Futsu. There's Great Purification. And then all of a sudden, there's a Raizio! I really wasn't expecting that by this point. But here we are. Out comes Duo Drive. They grab Sword using that, and they grab Plug-in using that. Out comes Sword. They grab Ice. Out comes Ice. Here's the detonator. And then they face down 3. They let me draw up to 18 cards. Super Poly is a gun. Gonna hurt them a little bit. You know, just with everything I have in my hand here, yeah, I think I'll be fine. Now, I still have to return some stuff because I did use a Fuelos, but I only had to return 3 cards. And honestly, the cards I returned were pretty fine. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to Super Poly, we're going to send away Fuelos, we're going to just get rid of the detonator. Here's Mud Dragon of the Swamp. Bam. We're going to use Mud Dragon and call Dark. They're then going to use Murakumo and Plugin in order to bring some dudes back. So Plugin, back comes Detonator. We're just going to discard the Preparation of Rites. I sure as hell, or Pre-Preparation of Rites. I sure as hell don't need it anymore. They're going to use Mikoto in order to add the ritual back to their hand. And they're going to use Detonator and attach it with X for a material. We're going to activate Preparation of Rites that we still have in our hand in order to add Ohime. We're going to do Ohime. And add Water Arabesque. Return Ohime. We're going to Water Arabesque. Alright, there goes their destruction. There goes their negation potential from Murakumo. We're now going to activate Noble Twins. They're now going to activate the Great Purification in order to negate that. That's fine. Here's Red Reboot. Full Armored XCs. They're not going to be able to use that. We'll send away Spirit Walk. We'll place down Fire Dance. The mirror resolves, sending it back to the deck. And then back to hand. He bet. Destroy all monsters I control. Oh no! Anyway. And then finally, they use the Magatama in order to destroy Fire Dance. It'd be a shame if I didn't have anything in hand I could use to still OTK them. Anyway, normal summon Huli. Here's Huli with some mayo. Here's Double-Edged Sword on the Primal Token, and punch it. If there's one thing I do appreciate about going second decks, it generally helps you with sequencing. Sequencing is a very important thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! And you need to understand it in order to properly use going second decks most of the time. Alrighty, these last 3 duels were all using Stardust Bestial, which is a deck I enjoy quite a lot. It's time to make Mainlander proud. It'd be very funny if all of a sudden Mainlander just like popped into the chat. Alrighty, I'm going first. I open Stardust Synchron, Primera, Junkmeister, and 2 Druid Worms. I actually quite like this hand. So we're going to use Junkmeister first in order to summon Junkmeister, of course, and add Junk Armor to my hand. We're going to activate Junk Armor and summon it in order to bring out the other Stardust Synchron from my deck. We're going to use that in order to get Arrival in Light. Now, immediately, I made a mistake. I should have put down Arrival in Light first. I'm a potato. But it's okay, there's no mistakes, just happy little accidents. Let's arrive in Light now. There goes Converging Wills. We're going to Druid Swarm on Stardust Synchron, and we're going to Nomo Summon Primera in order to grab Stand Up, which is then, of course, going to shuffle our deck, making the Arrival in Light completely worthless, but don't worry about it. We'll now go into Dissipator. Using the Arrival in Light, we got Magma Hut out of that, which is pretty nice. We're going to bring back Stardust Synchron, and using Stardust Synchron and Scarred, make Auxia. We're going to use the often ill-frequently used second effect of Arrive in Light in order to actually special summon a tuner from my hand. There we go. And out comes Chaos! Chaos Angel is my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster. I have on several replays talked about how much I love this monster. And there will be several more replays talking about why I love this monster. Chaos Control is an understatement. So, as is usual, time to rapid fire why I love this monster. This monster has a good amount of attack, a good amount of defense, needs a tuner or a non-tuner light or dark monster. He is a level 10, so that is quite easy to do with a Bestial and a level 4. And a level 4 tuner, except that you can use non-tuners in order to make him as long as it's light or dark, which is pretty nice. If he's special summoned, you can immediately banish a target on the field, which is pretty nice. If you make him with a light monster, synchro monsters cannot be affected by activated effects your opponent controls from monsters. And if you make it with a dark monster, monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. And if you make it with both, it has both. This is easily accomplished with both any of the Bestials and any of my tuners in this deck, giving my entire board destruction and monster negation, essentially. It is such good insulation on your board state. We will now Trudea in order to place Primera in the background, and we will place Gargoyle back there too. We ended up drawing Converging Wills, or not drawing Converging Wills, but I used the Magma Hut to grab Converging Wills. Going up against Heroes. So, we're going to banish Ferris. Or not Ferris. Which one is that? Sinister Necron. They're going to get rid of Ferris in order to bring out Vion. They're going to send Malicious. Malicious is being malicious. We're going to Primera right here. They're going to Max C, which is going to be a bit tricky. And we're going to Judea. I think I want to go into a 12 here. Bam. Oh, while the song is playing, interesting thing, we're almost done with Final Fantasy III. We will probably finish it tomorrow, because I missed yesterday's stream, so we will probably finish Final Fantasy III tomorrow. Would you guys enjoy a We Love Katamari playthrough? Because there's another game I want to get to, but I wouldn't mind doing that on the channel, because that game is very fun and very weird, with very fantastic music. I definitely would do that. Which version? The remake. On Steam. My friend bought it for me recently. Thanks, Fox. Oh, which version of Final Fantasy III? The Pixel Remaster. We are in the final dungeon. We are like at the tail end of it. We can probably do it all on tomorrow's stream. Yeah. Yeah, long story short, I've been waiting forever to like have enough money to actually buy the Pixel Remaster version, but every time it went on sale, I just never had the money for it. Until recently, so we've been playing through it finally, because I want to play either like my preferred version of that Final Fantasy, or like the worst version of that Final Fantasy for shits and giggles. And I'd rather play a good version of Final Fantasy 3, because like every other version of Final Fantasy 3 has like all kinds of weird shit about it. Hold on, let me get a drink. Alrighty. We're going to stand up with Primera in order to go into Crimson Dragon. We got Phalanx out of that. We'll arrive in Light. We're proc Crimson Dragon, which means we won't be able to grab Synchro Rumble, but I'm fine with that, because that's not the important part. The important part is the tagging into Stardust Saphir Dragon, giving my entire board one-time destruction protection. This card is crazy. This card gives your entire board one-time destruction protection. Everything. Monsters and spells and traps. This card is crazy. And honestly, I'm surprised I don't see it more often as a Crimson Dragon target. Most people go for Blazar because a lot of people are like negate pilled. And Blazar is also great. But I think people really underrate a lot of the other targets that Crimson Dragon can go into. They're going to Rhoda and grab Liquid Soldier. Liquid! They're going to banish Vion in order to try and grab Polly. We're going to use Saphir in order to stop that. So fun thing about Saphir's negation compared to a lot of other negations. When Saphir negates things, it doesn't just destroy the thing it negates. You can choose what to destroy when you negate something with Stardust Saphir, including your own things. Now you might be asking, well, why would I want to destroy my own things when I negate something? You don't have to. Your entire board has destruction protection, remember? So if there's something that you don't want to destroy that your opponent controls, you can just target one of your own things and not destroy anything. Which is very useful. So they're now going to try to use Stratos in order to blow up my back row, which of course doesn't work. They're going to favorite Flame Wingman in order to... Let's see, Liquid Soldier is going to add and send. Flame Wingman's going to add favorite contact. They're going to Fusion Destiny. Out comes DPE, good old DPE. We're going to use Dispater to negate the grave effect of that card there. They're going to DPE to try and destroy things on my board. Again. Reading is hard. They're going to Evil Assault for a Dusted Gold, sending away Neos, which, not gonna lie, I don't think was the idea here. Because if there's one thing that this deck is pretty vulnerable to, that a lot of decks are vulnerable to, that Hero is really good at, honestly, is a big number. This deck, if you can get a big enough number to just punch over the stuff that they have, it would be pretty damn good. But they don't do that. So, here's what we'll do instead. Because Converging Will's Dragon is on the field along with Dispater, let's actually make the namesake of the deck. Out comes Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. This card is very funky, but I like it a lot. And it's basically what the deck is trying to make. 4,000 attack, which is a lot. 3,300 defense, which you typically don't put it in defense mode, but that's a lot of defense. It's useful. You can negate an effect your monster controls. You can just target anything they fucking control. Just, boop. Just your stuff doesn't work. It's pretty fun. You gain an additional attack for every Stardust Dragon or Synchro monster with Stardust Dragon and its text in your grave. Doesn't come up too often in this version of the deck, but if you use Synchrons, that actually happens a lot, which is quite fun. And similar to Cosmic Blazar Dragon, this card has infinite end phase negates because of how it works. So you can negate something your opponent does, and then it banishes itself until the end phase. It will then come back during the end phase And because it's still the end phase, if something happens during the end phase, you can negate it again, and it'll banish and come back immediately. This card basically, like, kills Branded. It's very fun. I have another replay where I have Blazar do the exact same thing, basically, because Blazar works the exact same way. We're going to arrive in light in order to grab Bestial. We're going to summon Primera and grab Trudea. We'll take Druisworm and Primera in order to make Baron de Fleur. I don't think I need to explain that card to any of you here. We're going to get rid of DPE, and we're going to use Saphir in order to negate its effect. They're going to use Favorite Contact in order to try and go around it. We're going to use Majestic Star's Negate in order to stop that. We're going to normal summon Trudea. We're going to use it to bring out Stardust Synchron. We're going to bring out Gargoyle in order to bring out Lubellion. In order to set Branded Regain, we will of course then take these two and immediately go into Legacia. Why? Because I like cards. Yoink. Neat. And now we punch things. Very, very hard. So, out of curiosity, I wanted to go look up the opponent's deck, or see the opponent's deck list afterwards. Because no joke, all I think it would have taken them was them making the, like, what is it? The Shining Contact, Shining Favorite Wingman, whatever the fuck. This guy. Yeah, Shining Neos Wingman. And then just punching Bestial Dispater to death? No joke. If they just made this, I would have lost. I'm not sure why they didn't just make this. Oh well. These last two happened in Duelist Cup. This one was while during the climb, and this one was the one that got me to dual level max. Let's check it out. So, Z, I guess they're snoring, has gone first. I open turn 15. Oh, this isn't even the longest duel I've had. I open Speedroid Terratop, Primera, Junkmeister, Stand Up, and Junk Signal. I like these cards, especially because I open Junkmeister and don't have Junk Armor in my fucking hand for once! You might be asking what the Terratop is for. You'll see in a moment. And we're going up against Onomont. Alright. Do. Alright, so far, this is standard Onomont stuff. Out comes Utopia. They grab their rank up magic. We one card rank up Utopia into Prime. Now we use Hyper rank up. Out comes Dragonair. We will then proc Dragonair in order to make Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. Attach with the material. We Gambara Knight. Out comes Gaga Gaga Girl, or Gaga Gaga Girl. Always fun to say. If they grab an Omni Trap, I didn't even know Onomat had fucking a counter trap until this duel. They grab Go 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 Goblin Bird. They take the Sage and the Gaga Gaga Girl into, I think, what's his face? Yeah, that guy, Utopic Future. Into Draco Future. There goes the Go 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 Goblin Bird. They take these three things and make Alimbertion. I wasn't expecting that. But they use that to add Astraltopia. There goes Dodo Warrior. They special, they send away the Alimbertion. They grab Numbers Protection, another card I've never seen before in my life. When a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated while you control the numbers Xyz monster, negate the activation and destroy that card. Okay. So they put down that other trap and the Numbers Protection, and this is what I gotta deal with. So what do we got? Oh, now they're using Dragonair in order to special summon Hope Harbinger. This is quite the tricky board to navigate around. We have to deal with two Omni Negate traps, a Monster Negate with Galaxy Eyes, a Negate and Yoink with Draco Future, and I think, yeah, Dragonair is out of gas, as well as a Spell Trap Negate from, or a Spell Negate from Hope Harbinger, as well as Battle Protection. This is gonna be tricky. It's time to make Mainlander proud! So, why is Terratop in my deck? Well, it's very simple, you see. By using Speedvoid Terratop, he acts as negation bait for several things. We're going to use Serenir in order to banish, just so I can bring out some stuff. They're going to Ash Blossom the Junk Signal, unfortunately, but I'll live. I still have a tuner in my hand. Serenir gets rid of, Utopia. Terratop gets negated. We're going to bait a Junkmeister. That makes them use that counter trap. Now, this does let you detach two cards to destroy a card in the field. I'm guessing they didn't do that because they felt like the negates from Draco Future was probably a better thing to hold on to. Which, to be quite honest, in 99% of matchups, they're probably correct. We're going to place down Stand Up, which of course makes them use Hope Harbinger. And now, we're just going to normal summon Primera, not use her effect, which is very important, in order to make Chaos Angel! I don't want to use Chaos Angel's effect yet, because I know that they have that other number trap. I can't use its effect yet, but his butt is very big, so this will be helpful. We'll get rid of Hope Harbinger first. They're going to activate the Grave effect of Unbreakable. They're going to use Dodo Warrior, as well as Dodo Dwarf Go 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 Glove. I feel like if you don't say their names, you're just like, are you really playing Yu-Gi-Oh? You know? You have to say their names. Out comes Gaga Gaga Magician, as well as Zuba Vagantro Gaga Gako. Out comes Utopia Double. And they go from Gaga Gaga Magician and Utopia Double into Future Zexal. Ow! I am in great pain! So this card, normally just wins them the game, because as you see, it has a shit ton of attack. But Because Chaos Angel is the fucking GOAT, my monsters can't be destroyed by battle. So, we get Terror Top, unfortunately. We're going to use Junkmeister in order to try and get rid of another negate. We do. And now, we play Patient. Because I know they can't do anything to me right now. I don't think they know that. We draw a Baldrake out of that. We're going to use Junkmeister again to burn another negate. We're going to use Baldrake in order to summon Baldrake, of course. More Bystios on the board doesn't hurt anybody. Out comes Onomatopera. Grabbing Gagagagambara Knight. This is why I run Kaliyuki. We will Drew a Swarm. We're going to Junkmeister, burn another negate. See, a fun thing, I think playing a wide variety of decks is good for you. Much like I think playing a wide variety of characters in a fighting game or a wide variety of characters in a MOBA is also good for you. Because you learn different skills when you play different characters and use different decks. And the good thing about playing mid-range decks is naturally, I learn how to be a bit more resource-intensive and resource-positive with the things I do. And that also is true when you play slower, more control-oriented decks like Stun. Or something like Melodious, which protects the castle. I know how to play Patient, but a lot of people don't know how to play Patient. And people get really frustrated when they feel stuck. Yeah, fun thing about Chaos Angel, he doesn't just give synchro monsters battle protection, he gives all of your monsters battle protection. Out comes Branded Regained, which is quite nice, honestly. We're going to plop it down. They're going to use Exofuture in order to take, Druisworm. We're going to Junkmeister, burn another negate. Draco Future is now out of negates, but we still have to deal with that Omni Trap. Out comes Onomatopera. There goes Go 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 Goblinberg. We have Stardust Synchron. One last time, we're going to Junkmeister in order to burn the trap. Thank you, Junkmeister, for your service. You have served us well. Yeah, so we're going to get rid of Zexofuture, but they try to affect Veiler Baron. But because of Chaos Angel, activated monster effects don't do anything, so that hand trap means absolutely nothing. We're going to regain because he just summoned to bring back Baldrake. We drew Drunk Armor, which normally I would be upset about, but for once I actually don't care. We're going to negate the numbers protection, so it stays in the grave. We'll set down Terror Top in order to use Stardust Synchron's Tribute effect from grave to special summon itself, bringing out Dispater. We'll send Stardust Synchron back, getting us Ash Blossom. And now we slowly dismantle their board. Because I'm not familiar with Onomat's recursion ability, and I for sure would hate if they were able to build back up and be able to punch me. So we're going to play nice and slow until I'm absolutely certain that they can't do anything. They draw Astrotopia out of that. Astrotopia, Astrals all over the place. We'll now use Dissipator in order to negate it. There goes Go Goblinberg. There goes Onomato Kage. Out comes Exiton Knight. Yeah, they tried to Exiton pop the board at the end there. Reading is hard. So Exiton Knight, if they did use it, would have actually helped me more than it would have hurt them, because it literally would have done nothing to the monsters on my board and literally destroyed all of their own monsters. I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Oh, wait. Duelist Cup! I can't look at decks. I hate Duelist Cup. And then, finally, the duel where I hit dual level max. Alrighty, I open Terrortop, Primera, Trudea, Serenir, and Called by the Grave. I'm going second, which is never great with this deck, but let's see what we have. Out comes Jokul, there goes Holly Sue. If you ever tried Chaos Angel on me, Caliuga would have fun, not so nice words with you. We're going to Serenir in order to make them burn that. So Izuna's, Ripper is making Serenir not proc, sadly. Cats are causing problems, you're good. I hate Chaos Angel because I can never summon him. So, their board ends with the Quick Play spell with Ripper with no materials, a Nash Knight, Izuna, and Lupus on field. We draw Junk Signal out of that, which honestly is pretty damn good. So, here's a bit of a better dual showcase of why Terrortop is here. We're going to use Terrortop. They're going to go into Hound. We'll use Terrortop to grab Takatomborg. We'll summon Takatomborg, and we'll make MX Saber Invoker. You might be wondering, what the fuck is Invoker doing in this deck? Aren't all your monsters lights and darks? All of them except one. They're going to go full Yif using Force Release. Hi, Pokeboy. You're a first-time chatter. How are you doing? They're going full Yif! I finally have Serenir on the board, at least. They're going to just slurp him up, though. Preparing for Nats. Yay! they're going to toss out the Primera in my hand using the power of their full Yif. But yeah, it turns out Junkmeister is an Earth Warrior, so by using Terror Top and Takatomborg and making MX Saber Invoker, you can actually grab Junkmeister without burning your normal summon. Or locking you to anything. Which is quite handy in several matchups, mostly for negate bait, I'm gonna be real. Is this your deck? This is Stardust Bestial. We're making Mainlander proud with this one. We use Junkmeister to grab Junk Armor. We will now use Junk Armor's effect, of course, to then grab Stardust Synchron. We'll add Arrive in Light. We'll actually put it down on the board this time. I didn't forget. We'll make Scarred. We'll draw Converging Wills. Converging Wills get summoned. Converging Wills brings out another dragon. We usually bring out Brotar because Brotar lets us search for another dragon. And by doing duels, we're doing replays today. If you have any fun replays, by all means, put your ID in the chat. So, depending on what you have... Think you got one? Let me check. Absolutely. Depending on what you have in your hand, you can use Brotar and either target himself to grab a Bestial, to grab one of the level 6 Bestials, or you target Converging Wills Dragon in order to grab Lubellion. Depends on what's in your hand. We're going to grab Druisworm out of that. Normally you're supposed to grab Magma Hut out of that, but I wanted to try and dismantle their gourd here. We will use Lubellion, getting rid of Scarred, in order to place down Branded Regained. We'll use Stardust Synchron, tributing Brotar to bring him out. We will use Druisworm, sending away Scarred. We'll send Scarred back, and we'll make Dispater. We'll use Druisworm to get rid of the full Yif. In case you're wondering why I didn't try and get rid of Hound, he's immune. Can't be destroyed by opponent's card effects and turning special summon, and because he was made with, Lupus, I can't target him right now. So I need to non-targeting negate Hound in order to stop it right now. If only I had a card in my deck that non-targeted negated. So anyway, shooting Majestic Star Dragon actually has its main negation effect as a non-target negate. Yeah, that's the non-targeting negate right there. and it's permanent too. Yeah, they're just off. Their card doesn't work anymore. So, we'll continue with the combo. We'll go into Auxia. Semi-important thing. If you do plan on using this deck, I would highly recommend whenever you summon Shooting Majestic Star Dragon, try your best not to summon it in the extra monster zone. That way you always make sure that you have a place in the main monster zone for it to return to if you use its negation effect. Keep that in mind. So I usually prefer putting Auxia in the extra monster zone. Ow!
I'm interested in this.
Thank you for being interested, Pokeboy! Throw a potato at me! So naturally, because we have Auxia, we grab Stand-Up Centurion. We'll send away Junkmeister because we don't really need it anymore. So it makes pretty good discard fodder for the rest of the times you need discards. We'll summon Trudea, we'll place down Trudea, we'll summon Gargoyle. Second duel, you got it, Illigos. Out comes Crimson Dragon. Gargoyle comes back. You know, I never played Final Fantasy 13 2, but I've always wanted to. I should, because I actually quite liked Final Fantasy 13. Out comes Stardust Saphir, Gargoyle comes back to hand, Crimson Dragon grabs Synchro Rumble. Now, I gotta say, normally, people would recommend that you not play this card. This is considered a win more card. Do you need Synchro Rumble? No, but I like it a lot, and it's helped me substantially more than it's hurt me, so I always use this card if I use Crimson Dragon. It's one extra card, it won't kill me. Speaking of, we'll use it to bring back Stardust Synchron, and then we'll attack. And I do not want that card on the field, so we're just going to use Majestic's Negate. We'll use Called by the Grave and force them to Lupus, which means we get to use Saphir. There goes the case for K9, which does let them place down a quick play. Boop. Boop. And boop. Here we go. What rank am I? I'm usually hovering in Platinum. Usually, yeah, high plat, sometimes diamond. Yes. So, bad news. Dark Ruler no more. This deck is actually quite vulnerable to the board-breaking potential of this card especially. But it's a good thing we have Centurions. They're going to use Droll in order to try and go into Typhon, which is fine, because we're going to use Primera Primus and use her Destruction effect. We'll draw Emblem of Oath, never use it, and then just destroy him. You see, Primera Primus, its destruction effect normally requires that you destroy something you control and something your opponent controls. But because I had Primera in the back row and I had Stand-Up Centurion, there was actually several things I was allowed to destroy before without having to actually get rid of any of my stuff. Yeah, Dark Ruler no more is absolutely, like, threatening to this deck. But it didn't help them here. I play Trap Tricks, it kills me. Oh lord, yeah, I would hate that. So yeah, once again, the normal deck list for Stardust Centurion basically is this exact same thing, except it doesn't have Synchro Rumble. I like Synchro Rumble. I'm using Synchro Rumble, it's that simple. I like this card. This card is fun. And I will use it, and you will not stop me. But I do like this deck. Stardust Bestial is very fun. I love when decks have more synergies than just, oh, here's Combo Slop. No, it's even worse than Dark Ruler no more. Jinzo. Yeah, Jinzo is very rare, but I have had a Labyrinth player summon Jinzo against me, which is very sad against Centurion, because it means I can't summon my monsters. And with that, that is all of my replays. Half your deck is traps. Elagos said they had one more replay they would like to share, so let's get to it. Let's see. Replay button. You said the second one in Duelist Cup. So let's check it out. Look at the first one's turn. Oh, we'll check it out after. Alright. Out comes Big Doom Z using Radiant Typhoon with them. We have Drastea. Going into Drastrius, that is a very angry twink. Battling Elite Fours on the last one, what should you do? I would just make sure, I'd probably just go to Victory Road and just make sure the rest of your team is, like, competently leveled. We'll destroy the Manifestation and we'll send away Big Vavaroon. We get to special summon Crosea. We get to use Magala's effect to bring out Phonics. We grab Vision. We grab MST. We'll take Magala and Sven in order to make a little Vavaroon. Should you lose on purpose? Generally, yes. But again, like, honestly, you probably just need to... This is gonna sound patronizing, but I'm not joking. Like, just... Your Pokemon are fine. You just kind of need to just play a little better. They'll set Doomsday Destruction. We'll recycle those cards. We got Kumungus, the Sticky String Kaiju. Duster. Know what to use when. Yes, exactly. We're going to use Mandate to make sure we don't get Dustered, because that would be depressing. We get to summon Big Vavaroon, and Little Vavaroon uses her effect in order to bring back the Mandate. They're going to triple Tactics Talents. We're going to counter with Doomsday Destruction, targeting Drastrius. They're going to draw 2. Out comes Deep Sea Diva. There could be a couple of things they're using here. My guess is Sprites. Probably Sprites. Bonk. Looks like they're going it just to go into Zeus. Yep. Out comes Downerd. Out comes Zeus. And we're going to use Big Vavaroon to stop that. They're going to use the other material they have to Zeus again. And then we're going to use Zastrius in order to stop it. There goes Sprite Starter. We're going to use Phonics and just bounce it back. Do you battle your rival after you heal after Elite Four? Yes. There's no healing. Holy Jeebus. Alright, going up against Zone in a private duel. We have a 43-turn duel. Jesus Christ. You said just look at the first turn, thankfully, so let's just check it out. Or just look at its turn count. I'm kind of curious. Look at the deck afterwards. We will. Alright, Doomsday Radiant Typhoon. Yes, it's 5 battles, because you have to battle the Elite Four and then the champion afterwards. Oh boy, we're playing some good old classic stun. We've got good old Pachycephalo with some Moon Mirror Shield. A tale as old as time. Going to Doomsday Change to blow up Raiders. We're going to use that to blow up Pachycephalo. We're going to do that. Send it to the bottom of the deck because we already have another Moon Mirror in the bottom of our hand. Or in our hand, so we don't need it. Out comes Sven. Sven starts chanting. Out comes Magala. Crosea can now summon because a quick play was activated. We got Vision. We got MST. Out comes Eldam. Eldam grabbing Big Vavaroon. And now out comes little Vavaroon. And there we go. We will effect Valor on Inspector Border. God. I swear I've never seen Radiant Typhoon. I'm in gold, that might be why. Well, you'd be surprised. I've seen, like, meta decks even in lower ranks. But the main reason you probably haven't seen it in lower ranks, the deck is kind of like low floor, high ceiling. It's not exactly the most linear deck, and linear decks tend to be lower, and like more complex decks tend to be higher because they have more flexibility and skill expression, which fits Radiant Typhoon to a T, especially because how splashable it is in several other archetypes, this being a perfect showcasing. Is Gale of Darkness worth playing? So Gale of Darkness is basically just like a standard console imagine just a standard Pokemon game, but all the battles are double battles, and there's like shadow Pokemon. But the mechanics are better than the first game, than Coliseum. You might like Gale of Darkness. It just depends. Me personally, I think it's neat. Radiant Typhoon hurts you, I think? Yes. Radiant Typhoon is destructive against back row decks. For very obvious reasons. They literally recycle MST. Gym battle based? No, it's more like a proto, like Gen 7. Where it's not like gym battles, but it's like different challenges instead. Yeah, Radiant Typhoon absolutely destroys like back row decks. They're going to blow up their change. I gotta say, though, this deck is cool, actually. Using the Radiant Typhoon stuff in order to destroy your Doomsy stuff to proc their effects is really neat. This is a very cool synergy. I like this. This makes me actually might want to try out Doomsy. Because like I said, I don't really like Xyz decks all that often. We now have double Phonics on the board. We're gonna Moon Mirror on Gendo. I've never seen this card before in my life. Face-up monsters cannot activate their effects, or attack position monsters cannot activate the effects. This defense position card can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects. Never seen that card before in my life. Better not see Radiant Typhoon and Nats. I have bad news for you. You're almost certainly going to. Like I mentioned, this deck is very flexible. It's very expressive. It's very high, low floor, high ceiling. Like, it is a very, like, modal, modular deck that is very splashable in a lot of things. It's not the best, don't get it twisted, but you will probably see it. Especially if you're playing in TCG, because TCG also, I think TCG has, the Fallen and the Virtuous now, right? And the Fallen and the Virtuous is a very good quick play spell. The Doom Xyz is a win. Oh yeah, he is, isn't he? Well, this deck doesn't really, like, wind lock you, though, which is pretty nice. But yeah, he is a wind, so... I want to try out the deck pure before I try out, like, other variants. That's usually how I, like, try out decks and see what I like or what I don't like. They're going to go into Malevolent Sin. That's interesting. They're going to send away a Phonix. We're going to punch Magala. We have Corsair in hand. Phonix comes back. Raiders. We're going to destroy that one. I forget her name. Alara, that's her name. Alara destroy. Can I mention, I like a lot of their armor, but I like this one especially because it reminds me of fucking Valstrax from Monster Hunter. It looks like Valstrax armor. You know what? I might have to use this deck just because of that. I might have to, because they literally have a Valstrax, and they're like, look at her. She's literally Valstrax. She is wearing Valstrax armor. One day, I will be a Valstrax VTuber. Bam. My main goal is to blow up. How do you choose what Pokemon? You catch them. They're still, like, catching. Yeah, like, the Coliseum and Gale of Darkness are just, like, regular Pokemon games, but on the GameCube, basically. But every battle is a double battle. That's a good way of thinking about it. Punch him! Punch him again! Punch him a third time! Gonna tribute Cresea. This Fiend Tiger... What the fuck is that one? Fanghu? Monghu. Yeah. Well, goodbye. There's King Tiger Wanghu. There goes MST. And we'll just send that back. And use Little Vavaroon to reset Mandate. Moon Mirror on something for some reason. We'll recycle those. We got Sven out of that. And I think I see where the rest of this goes, and I'm pretty sure we don't need to watch the rest of this. I think we get the point. I'm curious, though. Did you deck them out? Yeah, I figured. It's so goofy. Alrighty. Do you have any replays, Pokeboy? God, we've been streaming for 2 hours. Every time I do these mini replay reviews, they always go on longer than I expect, which is funny. This game is silly, I swear. You sent me your ID earlier. Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm looking for numbers! The numbers, Mason. Hey! There we go. There we go. Alright, any of these scream at you? Is this pure for hire? I'm interested. The top one? Let's start with the top one then. Yeah. I like for hire. For hire is neat. For hire sprites. That makes sense. Alright, you mentioned you were, of course, playing Trap Tricks, so I'm guessing this is the standard Trap Tricks suite of cards? Yes, it is. Alright. We have Dianea in hand. We're just going to use Dianea, immediately going to Sarah. There's Sarah. We have Parallel Exceed in hand, which gets us some 4s, which lets us go into what's-her-face. I always forget the rank 4s. Pingulica. We'll proc. We'll add Arachnocampa. That lets us use Sarah. That lets us use Arachnocampa. There goes Trap Hole Nightmare. There goes Holotea. We'll now proc Holotea, sending away the bottomless Trap Hole. Bring out Mantis. Out comes Alomeris. Dianea comes back. We'll return the Floodgate Trap Hole. Out comes Rafflesia. Metal Foes. Huh. I'm interested. We'll Called by the Grave Arachnocampa, trying to stop her effect here. Alright, we have Stealin. We have the other one. We're going to destroy that. We grab Metal Foe's counter. We'll Pen Summon. We'll blow that up. We'll grab Combination with that. And 2 more face down. We'll start with Combination. And we get Max Seed. Pinguluka grabs Myrmelio. Sarah sets down another Holutea. Myrmelio normal summon. We'll grab Floodgate Trap Hole. We'll take Rafflesia and Myrmelio and make Colaria. Holutea sending away the Floodgate Trap Hole in order to summon herself. We'll use that to bring out Dionea. We'll return that. We'll make the big one. I forget her name. Adipus. Punch. Out comes Metal Foe's counter. Metal Foe's counter. That would have been funny if they had 3. I was hoping for all 3. Out comes that one. Out comes Vanisher. I always forget that one. We'll send away Adipus. Vanisher gets destroyed. Bismugear. Gone, but not forgotten. Unfortunately, our pen zone is still taken up by that other spell there, which makes this quite funky. We'll set Void Trap Hole. We'll return Arachnocampo. We'll use Vesuculo. And Dionea in order to make Rafflesia again. They grab Melcaster with that. Here comes the trap. Why'd they put that in their pen zone? Why did you put that in your pendulum zone? Don't put continuous stuff in your pendulum zone! You need that! Alright, Metal Foe's counter returns Vanisher to hand. I needed it! You needed to put it in a better place! We'll return Steel into hand. Myrmelio will destroy their other scale. Rafflesia is annoying since if I don't use it, it just takes up space. Okay, there, they got rid of it. We'll get Metal Foe's Fusion. It was now destroyed. We'll get Gold Driver with that. We'll normal Gold Driver. He gets Bottomless. We'll use Pinguluka in order to attach his material. We'll set Sealin in the other zone, blowing up Combination, setting Metal Foe's Fusion. There's Silvered. We'll now Pen Summon. 1, 2. Just 2? Out comes Link Spider. Here comes Vanisher, blowing up our scales, summoning the Vanisher, cracking Para, getting rid of the Rafflesia. Out comes Void Trap Hole. Vanisher gets vanished. There goes Pudica. We'll now use Pudica to get rid of Silvered. We'll use Metal Foe's Fusion using the Link Spider and the Bismugear. Into Adamante. We'll shuffle Metal Foe's Fusion back in hand, draw 1 card, using Metal Foe's Fusion, using the Adamante and the Vanisher from Extra Deck. Out comes a Zortless. But we still have Trap Hole Nightmare. We can now place him in the Pendulum Zone. I think there's a couple of ways they could have played this better. I think if they just summoned more... I don't know what their extra deck is, so I can't say for sure. But I think if they pen summoned more guys, that probably would have helped a little. Like, a bad thing about Trap Tricks is that they can get out-muscled. Alright, they are tiny little girls. Punch them in their tiny little girl faces, and you will win. Out comes Adipus. There goes Arachnocampa. Yeah, and they lost that. Adipus can end up getting the Blue Eyes ultimate dragon levels of attack. That's not incorrect! But hold on, I need to see their extra deck. Oh yeah, they're going like essentially pure. That's iffy. That explains a lot. That explains a lot. Yeah, I think diversifying their extra deck a little bit probably would have helped them out in the long run. And I think being able to Pendulum Summon more dudes also would have helped. Look at the For Hire match. I'll look at this one. Kali-Yuga, make sure these girls don't make it to the next duel. Well, people want to play the game! Alright, Poke is going first. We open Donpa, Bravo, Mayhem, Starter, and Imperm. Honestly, this could be worse. Because we have Starter, at least. Out comes Sprite Blue. We grab Jet. We Special Jet. We grab Gamma Burst. We grab Sprite Elf. We'll take Donpa in blue and make Gigantic. Out comes Rex. I love Rex. I'm gonna eat him. We For Hire. We bring back Donpa. We grab Training For Hire for all your training needs. Out comes IP. And wait. 3 face downs. That's kind of scary. Training For Hire for all your training needs. We will now Mayhem For Hire. They're gonna. Oh god, it's this fucking thing, dude. I had a match in a replay video previously where someone used this fucking thing against me to try and mill me to death. It didn't work. Out comes Zoma the Spirit. We take Rex and IP and we make Nightmare Phoenix. We'll just get rid of that. Yeah, see, when I went up against this, I was playing Code Talker, and Code Talker doesn't really have a convenient way of dealing with back row, so I was essentially on a time limit. Out comes Rafale. Or Rafale. I like saying Rafale more often. Bam! And then out comes the big man, Fulgo. We're going full Yif. There comes Dinah. We'll take Sprite Elf and beat. Out comes SP. We'll get rid of the fucking Magic Cylinder. Goddamn. Burn Decks are silly. We'll Bravo and Gamma Burst. He's saying he wants a duel. Bonk. Out comes beat, and another beat. We'll banish Gamma Burst, get some damage. Get burned by, which one is that? Matma, I think is its name? Yeah. Or Mahama. Okay. Punch. Mahama summoned. We get to draw. We get to swing. I love that the Kobold Care music doesn't pop up until someone with a furry deck pops up. The Shuffle's comedic timing is impeccable. Oh, God. Shane Energy. Well, it'd be a shame if you needed to summon anymore. Because you pulled the new support. Yeah. Yep. Alrighty. And unless some mysterious stranger pops in, I think that will be all for today. I have not eaten yet, actually. I woke up, like, literally, like, before stream, and I was like, blah, blah, blah. I missed yesterday. I need to catch up stream. Think you have another? Oh, we'll check it out then. Wrong button! Weep. That one. 8 turns. Alrighty. Alright, looks like we're going up against Dragon Maids. Alrighty, we open Mantis, Arachnocampa, Trap Tantalizing Tune, bleh, Bottomless Trap Hole, Floodgate Trap Hole. I didn't know how to play my deck, don't judge if I misplayed. Don't worry, I don't know how to play Trap Tricks either. We have Chamber. Chamber grabs Hospitality, but we already have Parlor, so we'll just send another. Interesting, we're playing multiple copies of Sermba. That's different. We'll go into Lady. Lady grabs Kitchen. Krypton will add Tin Heck and send Tin Heck. We'll use Sermba, send a Grave. Special Summoning Chamber. We'll take these two, grab Seals. Seals. And we'll end on that. During the standby phase, Lady will proc returning Dragon Maids in order to bring out my wife. And bringing out Sermba, giving our dragons protection. Alright, 3 face downs, normal summon Pudica. We're going to use Seals and bounce Pudica back. We're going to Arachnocampa for a quick special summon into Shio. Is there a Discord? For me, no, I do not have a Discord. I do not have a viewer Discord yet. Pegasus is back. Out comes House. We have the Garden in hand. We'll use that to bring out Mantis. Mantis will grab Vesiculo. I should make a Discord, though. Or something else if Discord goes under, if Discord decides not to fix its shit, so... We're going to try and punch the Rafflesia. We're going to send away... Which one was that? Terrifying Trap Hole. You should have, Sarah. Yeah. We're gonna Grave Digger the Druid Worm. We draw Dionea. We're going to use Seals and grab fucking Dark End Evaporation out of that. We'll go into Philia Regis, which gets voided. I'm not sure I would have done that. We'll return some stuff. We'll use our garden. We'll summon Dionea. We will try to summon Druid Swarm one more time. It's going to go through this time. We'll Dionea, grab Arachnocampa. I was stressed I was on stream. We'll grab Pingulica. Pingulica gets impermed. Except it doesn't, because, reading is hard. If there's a lesson today, it's that reading is hard. It's the first sentence. It's literally the first sentence. It's the first sentence! We use Boudica to grab another garden. Out comes Sarah, finally. Philia Regis will return Dark End Evaporation. We'll punch the lady. Punch that lady! We'll banish Pingulica. We'll return Druid Storm to hand. We'll use the garden to send away Sarah and grab Dionea in order to start resetting our back row. Take a drink here. Now, you know what's especially handy against this deck is, Red Reboot, because if you Red Reboot, all you gotta do is deal with the one that, like, changes her effect to a trap card. Which is a lot less than dealing with a whole bunch of trap cards. We'll get rid of the garden, but you already had one in hand. I'm not sure why they did that. We'll Gravedigger Druid Swarm one more time. We'll send away Philia Regis to summon Dark End Evaporation, but here comes the terrifying trap hole. And now we just gotta Ash Blossom face down. Read Arachnocampa. The first time each set card in your spell trap would be destroyed, it would not be during the main phase. If you control the trap trick, special summon this. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the extra deck this term, except plants. Yeah, no, what I said was true. Red Reboot doesn't destroy cards. It just stops all traps from activating. It doesn't destroy them at all. It stops all traps from activating for the rest of the turn. Meaning the only thing they would need to deal with would be the Xyz monster whose effect can become a trap. Yeah. And you can activate Red Reboot from hand, so it doesn't even need to be on the board. Yeah, that one. Like, Red Reboot and just deal with Rafflesia and you should be good. That's why I run Red Reboot in most of my decks! Ultrax. I don't know what Ultrax does. Let's see. Can I see what's in your deck right now? No. Is she in the thingy? She's not in the thingy. Is she banished right now? She is not. I don't know where she is. I can't see. We'll have to check her after. Out comes Mantis. Out comes Allomeris. Dionea comes back. We'll reset Trap Hold. Punch. Took some damage, but damage is something you can survive. Here's Nepenthes. Here's Mantis. We get drolled, but you are generally fine with that. That's something you can live with. It's not great, but you'll be able to put up with that just fine. Here's Adipus. Atrax. The activation and effects of normal traps activated on your field cannot be negated. Yeah, no, that would go through if you have it. But how often do you end with that on the board? Because so far in all these replays, you haven't gotten that monster out. Just as an example. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you know, just kind of highlighting the play pattern here. Dualisworm will send away Adipus. We'll attach Dualisworm, so now that that's gone, and we can close out the duel here. Nice. There she is, yeah. Atrax. Unaffected by holes, you can activate normal trap cards from your hand. The activation and effects of normal traps cannot be negated. Yeah, that would stop Red Reboot. Yeah. Boop. Yeah, here is Red Reboot's text, by the way. The second replay, oh, hold on. Here's Red Reboot. When your opponent activates a trap card, negate the activation, and if you do, set that card face down. Then, they can set one other trap card directly for their deck. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, your opponent cannot activate trap cards. So yeah, you would need Atrax on, but if she's on board, you're fine. Otherwise, this kills you, so I'm not saying make it a habit to get her on board, but I am saying that a lot of people are using this because it stops Draco Tail, so you might want to be ready for this card just in case. Alright, and finally the second replay. I think that will actually be it, because I am quite hungry. I need to stop doing that, because I am quite hungry. Stop Draco Tail and Labyrinth, yes. Gravedigger's Trap Hole negates if you activate it in the hand. I don't think it does, because it stops all traps. It doesn't just say traps on field, it just says traps, period. Like, they can't use, like, Imperm as an example afterwards, even if it was in their hand. Assuming it goes through. Again, that's the key assumption here. I can chain it. Yeah, you'd pretty much have to. No, wait! No! You can't chain it! It's a counter trap. You can't use Gravediggers. It's a... Red Reboot is a counter trap. You would need another counter trap or something else of the same spell speed. That's one of the things that makes Red Reboot so strong. It basically, like, ends the turn unless they have something else. Also, yeah, it stops Labyrinth, which, yeah, that's why I started using that card, was to deal with fucking Labyrinth, because I fucking hate Labyrinth. Alrighty, we open Atrax, Mermello, Dionea, Garden, and Gravedigger's Trap Hole. Going second against, there goes Illusion of Chaos, probably, maybe Pure Dark Magician, let's see. There's Dark Magician Girl's Apprentice, yeah, it's probably Pure Dark Magician. We'll grab the Shining Sarcophagus. There's a Shining Sarcophagus. We will activate. We will grab Future Silence from that. We will activate it. We'll grab the new Dark Magician. Out comes D-Mod. Hi, Army! Out comes his Rod. We'll grab Magician Salvation. We'll activate Salvation in order to set down Eternal Soul. We're doing replays today, Army. So if you have any replays, you know, by all means, share. We'll go into SP, and we end. We have Holotea in hand. We will normal summon Mermelio. They activate Gaze of Timaeus, targeting D-Mod. D-Mod goes back. Out comes Dragoon, of course. We'll return the Rod. We activate our Garden. Here comes Atrax. Out comes Sarah. We will activate Holotea. They're going to discard Magician Souls in order for the negate, which now we use Trap Hole Nightmare. So there goes their negate. So naturally, out comes Remelio. We'll destroy the Eternal Soul. We summon Sarah, and they just immediately end. You know, it's not impossible for them to recover from that. It would be hard, don't get it twisted. But it wasn't impossible. Dude, some people are too surrender happy sometimes. It pretty much is. That sounds like quitter talk to me! Alright, never back down, never surrender! But yeah, I think that will actually be enough. It's been 2.5 hours of streaming and I'm still hungry. Thanks for watching! I hope you enjoyed. I hope you'll come around for next time. Next time being tomorrow, where we'll probably finish Final Fantasy III. I am going to eat and relax now, and hopefully my head stops exploding. Yeah. Yay. Thank you! Later! Whee!